Hello, it is Ariel, and this is a long-awaited episode of Sound Advice, finally getting back up on the horse. My special guest is actually someone who doesn't feel much like a guest because he's my right hand at CyberPR. This is Jon Ostrow.
Hello.
For those of you who don't know Jon, I poached him from his job running Mic Control over a year ago. Jon is a marketing expert and someone who I trust very deeply, and someone who helps continue the conversation about cyber PR. He manages all the campaigns here at the agency, and we thought a series would be good of us just kind of talking about some of the things that we banter about here in the office. And I wanted to kick off the top of the Team Cyber PR Sound Advice by talking about this statistic that has come up a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. And that statistic is 6%. So 6% has reared its ugly head sort of twice.
Yep.
And the first place where it's come up is Facebook.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about this number that people should be aware of.
So Mashable did a study, and they're saying that 6% of, I should say 6% is sort of the average that any brand page at its maximum is really getting its engagement from. So if you have, 1,000 fans on there, only 6% of that at its max is actually what's going to be the sort of base of people that are going to be engaging with you on a regular basis. Whether that's commenting or liking or sharing your pages or sharing your posts, which is sort of an alarming thing. Yeah. I mean, everyone's trying to grow that like number, and that's the focus of it. They're trying to grow their overall fan base, but ultimately you're really only ever able to engage with 6% of that total fan base that you're growing. So it makes an interesting challenge for us as marketers, and it makes certainly an interesting challenge for artists and for our clients and everyone out there trying to navigate Facebook.
That's true. So what he's in effect saying, if you're not following this, is 94% of time spent on Facebook by people is not spent engaging with fan pages, customer pages, brand pages, business pages, any type of brand or product or service. And artists and bands and musicians fall into that wheelhouse. So what you have to be aware of when you're stressing out about the fact that you're not getting enough uptick or enough likes or enough comments, 6% is the average number. So I want to talk about that because when a lot of artists come to us, they hire us because they want more likes, specifically on their fan pages, right? They come to us and they say, well, my personal page has X amount, but my fan page doesn't have enough. And we always wait for it. When we're on a call, we look at each other, we're like, here comes the question. And so what would you recommend? What should an artist be focused on if the vision is getting more likes to a Facebook fan page? And why should they?
Right. Well, I mean, obviously there's advertising. I mean, that's really going to be the big way to just overall grow if you're trying to build increased visibility rather than engagement. Advertising is going to be an obvious one. I mean, if you're trying to sort of go from your personal page to your fan page and increase the sort of the funnel there and the engagement there, you can certainly create exclusive content on your Facebook fan page that you can then almost tease through your personal page. So you can, if you have a video or a song or contest or anything that you're running through that fan page, you could let people know about it on the personal page, but they have to then go funnel through to that fan page, like the fan page, and engage with it on the fan page in order to get to it.
Mm-hmm. So 6%, it keeps like rattling in my head. What's the average open rate on a newsletter?
I mean, if you have a good newsletter, 32% is really what you're shooting for.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you who are stressing out about your Facebook fan page and not feeling like you're getting a lot of traction, you might want to look towards some other marketing tools that have higher open rates. The dead average on a newsletter is somewhere between 10 to 15%. We have some clients that have a 54% open rate on their newsletter. So if getting your message out to your fans is the thing that you're looking to do, I think both of us would concur that Facebook's not always the best way to do that. So part 2 of this 6% figure that we're talking about today has to do with a study that I read very recently, and it was not surprising, but the number felt so low, and that is 6% of money that musicians are pocketing is now coming from recorded music.
Right.
Wow. So that means your CDs, live DVDs, if you sell them, anything recorded music,
Right.
iTunes, Amazon, all your digital download income, that's a pretty meager percentage.
Yeah.
So John, where should artists look if they're trying to build up a revenue stream towards the money pot?
You know, I mean, there's just so many other ways that you can create revenue now as artists, and I think that music is really, it's on its way out as the revenue stream. I mean, obviously that shows it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think it's now becoming more than ever just the promotional tool for touring, or for you look at some artists who are creating innovative apps that they can sell, so they're creating more of an experience around the music, and that's really what the whole crowdfunding idea is about, which is just creating the experience around the album, and that's what you're selling, is the experience, not the music itself. Same thing goes for live show. You know, the bands who have the experience from the live show are the ones that have been around for 30 years,
right.
Not, you know, the ones that fizzle.
Right.
But then there's also, you know, any other products. Create a merch line that's, you know, an exhaustive merch line. I mean, Martin Atkins always says, don't offer one shirt and say, would you like a shirt or not? Offer 2 shirts and say, which one do you want?
Merchandise in this study was 2%, so that's still kind of low.
Yeah.
Film and television licensing also came in at
Totally.
6%. I found that very interesting that those two are sort of equal.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching music was 22%.
Yep.
28% was the live show. So clearly, if you can make money off of live show, 18% constituted other, and I think a pretty good assumption there is that's money coming from crowdfunding or fan funding campaigns. All of these are contributing. This was a study done where 5,000 musicians were polled, and they all talked about how they make money. So that's the kind of meager 6% report, both on Facebook and the money going into the pockets of artists from recorded music. So I hope that was a little enlightening. This is Ariel.
This is John.
And this is Sound Advice.